All right. Wait. Audio working? Doesn't with three. Okay, yeah, it is working. All right. Yo, what's going on, my fellow gamers? Brando here. And today, I'm just loading into my game for the day. No, I'm not. I finished my commissions very late last night. A lot of my friends were summoning yesterday in Genshin. So Gareth got the Klee he wanted. He recorded that, so that'll be something he uploads on his channel. I do have some clips of like funny moments of from what happened yesterday, and I'm gonna put that together into a video, but I'm gonna upload that next week. So expect that either on Wednesday or Monday, probably Wednesday.
Take it
And
easy.
that's what's gonna be happening then. But for today we're gonna be playing through Kazuha's story quest because Kazuha didn't actually get his own quest when he came out about a year ago. So yeah, he has a story quest now in this patch 2.0, 2.8, 2.8, not 2.0. 2.8 came out yesterday, and so the only thing that came out so far was the Deluxe skin and also Kazuha's story quest. A Stranger Friendless Road, Acer Chapter 1. Pretend I read that properly. Now, one thing I want to say before I go and like start this quest is I know that there's a weapon associated with Kazuha. Uh, but they like literally didn't say how to get it. I don't think so, at least. But the only thing that's out right now, like I said, the Kazuha banner's out and his story quest. Also the Hangout event. I didn't look at that yet, cause Heizo's out now. I already trialed him. He's pretty alright. But that's a different topic. So right. So what I want to say, Kazuha has a like special sword that like scales with attack or whatever, the Cursed Blade, and it's I wanted to see if you'd get it from the story quest or if you had to get it from something later in the game, and I'm not sure about that. So we're just gonna go play through the story quest. If we end up seeing that sword in the story quest, which I'm pretty sure we will, there's a good chance we get it in the story quest. But if we don't, well, we don't. So wait, where am I even supposed to be? I'm supposed to be in Leeway for this one. No, that's Inazuma. All right, so here we go. We're just gonna jump straight into Kazuo's story quest. That's what we're doing for today, and yeah, enjoy. For those of you who haven't seen my Deluxe skin reveal, which was the skin came out yesterday. I bought it. I made a video on it. That's I uploaded that yesterday. It's on YouTube. It's basically it's supposed to be like a mixed reaction type video, like me reacting to the first time getting the skin, and then also a kind of like a funny moments thing because me and Toaster spent the entire video trying to find a thumbnail for the video, and yeah, that's that.
Let's get down to business.
Let's get down to business. Sure. Rocking the Deluxe skin right now. It's absolutely amazing. I love it so much. All right, so let's get to the story quest. Let's see what's going on here.
It's been a while since we first set foot on Inazuma.
Yeah.
So many things have happened since then.
Okay, so the way she's talking, it sounds like this story quest might be some kind of like prologue to like not a prologue to Sumeru, but more of like an end of Inazuma type thing. Because let's be honest, when Kazuha first came out, he didn't have a story quest like dedicated to him. That's why it's out now. When Kazuha came out, he had an Archon quest that introduced him, and it was our transition from Leeway to Inazuma. So it's kind of funny how, we're getting a Kazuha story quest at the end of Inazuma now. So I just want to throw my thoughts in there. All right. As if in a blink of an eye, there have been many memorable
Yeah,
events.
we've definitely made some progress on our journey. So, where should we go today?
Wait a moment. Your footsteps.
Huh? What's up?
Who the? Oh, wow. That's the blade I was talking about. Who knew we'd be seeing it this early? Well, yeah, that's the blade. Be careful. Someone's coming. Am I supposed to fight them?
Hey, what the heck was that
Sudden
for?
attacker. Question marks. Question mark. Question mark.
Doesn't want to talk, huh? Alright, let's convince him to calm down a little.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I don't even think.
So you don't have a vision after all.
Oh, you were testing me?
Seems like I've mistaken you for someone else.
What?
At the very least, you should make sure you've got the right person before you go attacking them. No,
Huh?
wait. Even when you've got the right person. You shouldn't go attacking them out of the blue.
Have you ever met someone by the name of Kazuha?
Oh,
He carries a
he knows
sword
him.
just like you. I've also heard that he possesses an animal vision.
Why are you looking for him?
That's none of your business.
Is it really not?
Never mind. You don't look like you know anything anyway.
Wow.
I'm wasting my time.
Wow. So, what if I do know him? I mean, I do, but like, he doesn't know that.
What the heck
He doesn't need to know that.
is this problem? Coming around here, waving that weird sword in our faces, and he didn't even apologize.
Are we not gonna question
Seems
the
like a
sword?
real nutcase.
Are we not gonna question like the aura on the sword or anything?
Well, one thing's for sure. No way are we telling him anything about Kazuha.
Well, yeah, but also are we not gonna say anything about the sword? I'm like 10,000% sure that we should have said something like, you know, maybe. Couldn't agree more. Very smart for once.
Hey, don't be mean. I'm on smart lots.
Yeah, yeah, you're very smart a lot of the time.
Just to be on the safe side, we should go find Kazuha right away and tell him to watch his back.
Actually, I have a hunch that Kazuha has been watching us the whole time. I'm autofilling what he's saying.
Oh?
Mhm.
What kind of hunch?
Never mind. I think this guy has a special connection to
A
Kazuha.
special connection? You mean beyond already knowing each other?
I can't say for sure, but I feel like their fighting styles are kind of similar. I didn't get to fight him long enough to even like notice any of that, so I can't say for sure.
Yeah, maybe a little. But then again, most people look pretty much the same once they
Yeah,
start fighting, so
yeah.
that doesn't really prove anything.
Mhm.
Anyway, there's no time to lose. Let's go tell Kazuha so we won't get into any danger. Paimon heard that the Crux fleet is stocking up in Rito at the moment. Let's look for him there.
All right, well, we're going back to Rito, I guess. A strange and friendless road started. Act 1. Here we go. I don't know how long this quest is even going to go for, but I'll stay here for through the entire playthrough, whether it's 2 hours or not. I am not walking there. Actually, no, I'm not walking there. I'm not doing it. No, not doing it. It's too much. Alright, now we gotta go to the docks here. Where's Kazuha? We're still not gonna question that sword? We're still not gonna question the sword, I'm assuming.
Hey, hello. Do you know where Kazuha is?
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive after all.
2. Oh, so there's people like that guy was after him for like some other reason that we don't know.
Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply run, only this time, as soon as we entered the harbor, we ran into a huge crowd of Inazumans, all of them wanting to know about Kazuha.
What happened?
If it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but I don't see her getting this kind of attention.
I don't think that's what it is.
Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times when he doesn't even listen to the captain, but she just laughs it off.
Oh, so you still don't know what he did.
I don't think it's what he did. I think it's like because he has like he's part of the Keidahara clan or something.
I've heard
That's
bits
what
and
might have something to
pieces.
do with him.
Something
I don't
about
know.
him blocking the Raiden Shogun's
Oh,
Miso no Hito
that.
Eh,
Oh.
Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be?
You could compare it to the technique Beto used to strike down Haishan. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really think about that. Like when Kazuha blocked it, the like Raiden's like strongest attack or whatever, I was just like, yo, that's like a really cool cutscene. That was a really nice cutscene. Don't get me wrong, it was an amazing cutscene. But I didn't think about it as people be looking for him because of it.
Really?
So yeah.
Wow. When you put it like that, it all makes sense. In that case, his newfound stardom is well deserved. He was called away earlier by some people from the Tenryo Commission. They said they had something important to discuss with him.
What could
I
that
thought
be?
they'd come to arrest him at first. Turns out they couldn't have been friendlier to him. Seems like they really respect the guy.
Just a little while ago, this would have been completely unimaginable.
The Shogunate probably wants to show some goodwill. After all, the Raiden Shogun's mindset has changed.
Thank you. Guess we'll go pay a visit to the Tenryo Commission.
All right then. I'll just stay here and carry on trying to fend off the crowd.
I feel like I'm gonna be saying this after every single dialogue, but are we not gonna say anything about the sword? Like either thinking to himself or even Paimon commenting on it or something? Because that it's normal. You see like a samurai with a sword, you know, like that's their whole thing. But that sword was very glowy and it looked very ominous. So I don't know. I mean, the guy fighting me, he wasn't very special or anything. I mean, I chopped him, but I'm still curious a little bit, you know? So let's see what's going on here. If I can just, like, dash through the door, that'd be nice. Alright. We seeing in here? Oh, there's Kazuha. Found him already. So, what do we have here?
Oh, it's you.
What's up? You got people after you. What's up?
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt Decree.
I thought that's already
Since
been
you're here,
repealed.
you're very welcome to listen in on the conversation. We invited Mr. Kaidahara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on behalf of the Shogunate. Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. Also, I've been granted the chance to correct my clan's past mistakes, and for that, I'm deeply grateful. The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing, the tensions that have built up over the years. The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the Kaidahara name. Regarding the history of the Kaidahara clan, I trust that you're already somewhat informed?
I know that there was a lot said about the Kaidahara clan in like the Iridori festival. Like we learned a lot from like those pages or whatever, like the last page about the Kaidahara clan, how they used to forge swords and stuff. So I could say I heard a thing
In
or two.
short, there was once a group of
Yeah,
select
bladesmiths, so
who
they
served
forged
the Shogun
swords.
directly, responsible for upholding and further developing the traditional blade forging arts of the Almighty Shogun. The Kaidahara clan belonged to this class, but there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled to Snezhnaya. Both the Kaidahara and Kamisato clans were held accountable for lax oversight and entered a period of great turmoil. We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui. Attributing all of the blame to the Kamisato and Kaidahara clans was neither proper nor just. Considering Mr. Kaidahara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma, the Almighty Shogun believes he should not only be rewarded for his achievements, but also receive recompense for the excessive punishment borne by his clan in the past. In the interest of preventing
little
further
late for this?
harassment of the bladesmith clans by the Fatui, we chose not to publicly release the findings of our investigations into these matters. We trust you can understand why this was necessary.
This is a true honor. I am delighted to be in a position to receive the goodwill of the Almighty Shogun and the Shogunate at large. However, would I be correct to assume that this magnanimous gesture does not come without some strings attached?
Asking the right questions.
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. We seek only to correct a past injustice. With the
sure about that?
Kaidahara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaidaharas will be bladesmiths once more, and your wanderings will finally come to an end.
What if he wants to wander? Like, isn't that his choice though? You wanted to be a wanderer.
You will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City with the Almighty Shogun's blessing and full support of the Shogunate.
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements. I fear I would no longer feel at home behind the tall walls of a stately abode.
As I thought.
Yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of Kaidahara, and the art of blade making for which it stood. I do have a responsibility to restore their honor.
Okay, I forgot about this. I know, like, in like what do you call it? Like when I was doing Kuki Shinobu's Hangout event, like last week, I had moved my webcam on the top left, and I think that's better. That's better, so people could actually read the dialogue while also listening to it.
I sense some hesitation in your words.
So every time I do a stream on a story quest or a Hangout event, I think I'm gonna keep my webcam on the top left from now on. Because the preview doesn't look, you won't be able to read along.
Should you
were.
accept this offer, I imagine many of the malicious rumors currently circulating through the populace will disappear.
Malicious rumors? All we heard on the way here
Malicious
was so
rumors?
much praise that we almost wondered whether there was another Kaidahara Kazuha in town.
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated.
Yep.
They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaedahara really parried the Shogun's strike.
Well, he used the power of his second vision that his friend left behind.
Also,
I remember that. He had like an
eyewitnesses
electro
saw him
sword.
using the power of Electro in addition
Yes.
to that of Animo.
Yeah.
As a result, the falsehood that Kaedahara Kazuha was using a delusion began to spread.
What? But that doesn't make sense. Using a delusion turns you old and frail.
Okay,
Kazuha still looks fine.
you're right, but some people have accepted. I'm not saying Kazuo has a delusion. That's not true. It's just like to an extent, like Diluc, for example, has an illusion, but that's another story for another day. and he's completely fine.
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person wielding two elements at once is a more inconceivable
It makes
notion
sense. It makes
still.
sense that they would blame it on a delusion.
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being the subject of public discussion, no matter whether it brings suspicion or stardom my way. But perhaps if the Shogunate is willing to publicly support me, this situation will blow over more quickly.
I should put on autoplay.
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious thought. It stands to benefit all of us.
Please allow me some time to consider. In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well then, what brings the two of you here?
Well, there was a guy with a sword.
We nearly forgot about the most important thing.
There was a guy with sword. You and Paimon recount the attack on the outskirts of town to
Why
Kazuha.
would such a dangerous individual be looking for me?
Do you have any siblings? Could be someone you trained with under the same master. Okay, if siblings is out of the question, could it be someone you trained with under the same
No.
master?
This puzzles me as much as it does you. My fighting forms were taught to me by my family.
Oh, so they really did
Based on
fight the same. I
techniques
did not even pay
originally
attention. I
developed
dropped
for
him too
blade
quickly to
testing.
pay attention.
We undergo
Or to
rigorous
notice.
training to standardize every motion the blade is put through, so that each can be fairly assessed for quality. Over time, these techniques came to form something of a Kaidahara sword art, focused on blade testing, but with a full repertoire of combat forms. Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai in battle. So it's hard to imagine that the similarity you speak of was coincidence alone.
All the more reason to watch your back. This guy was a serious nutcase.
Are we not going to talk about his sword?
Indeed. He sounds
Again?
highly aggressive.
I keep bringing up the sword because I need.
Anyone he targets is at risk of serious injury, or worse.
What's serious injury?
In that
I'm
case,
fine.
I will send some men
chopped
out
him.
immediately to search for him.
Thank
They're
you.
probably gonna get chopped. He has
I
some
must
weird ass
say,
sword.
I am now
I don't
very
trust it.
curious about this matter, and I will also need some time to consider your offer. I will first join the Traveler in investigating the one who attacked him, then give you a conclusive answer upon my return.
Very well. Please stay safe.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
He'll be like, I'm a Kazuha. And just fights him
The detective
one-on-one.
agency knows the most about what
Wait,
goes
the
on in
detective
town.
agency. Would
Let's
that
see what
mean?
Ryuji has to
Okay,
say.
we're going to Ryuji. Okay, well, if we're talking about detectives and Inazuma, the newest character Heizo is actually a detective, so there's a very good chance that we'll probably be seeing him in the story quest, and that might be how they introduce him aside from the hangout event. So he's a detective, and he might be helping us with this kind of thing. Wouldn't be surprised. But Ryuji is the other person who worked with Sango, in case everyone forgot that.
Take it easy.
We had a couple of daily commissions with Sango, but there was also an event, I forgot which event it was, but the case files, something, that's all related to them. So that's that. We gotta go ask him for information and we'll see where this leads us. Once again, I still want to know what the hell, the sword was. It's supposed to be a cursed sword. Or whatever. But we'll find out later. We'll just find out later.
Hey there! We'd like to ask you a quick question. Do you know if anyone around here has been looking for him? For Kaidahara Kazuha, we mean.
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaidehara. I've heard a lot about you. It is an honor to finally meet you today.
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault and would appreciate any help you can offer.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Let me think. I can't seem to recall anything of immediate interest. Mr. Kaidehara is currently the talk of the town, so there are always a lot of people looking for him. To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaidehara's personal information. Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want. If these were more
Damn, he just became
legitimate
famous
commissions,
for blocking that
Sango would
blade.
have snapped them up in an instant.
Millions? Of Mora? Whoa! Oh, wait. Even at that
Paimon.
price, you probably still shouldn't.
Why are you saying it so
Accept my thanks for
depressingly?
looking out for my privacy.
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. We don't make our money by revealing details of other people's day-to-day life just for the sake of it. Sorry, I got a little off topic. What I'm really trying to say is, it doesn't surprise me that a complete stranger is looking for Mr. Kaedehara. But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other attacks or similar incidents recently that stand out as particularly unusual? The Tenryou Commission had very few leads. I thought you might have some information from different sources.
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. But typically, it's only the most trivial events that manage to escape their attention. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault, in which case the Tenryou Commission would absolutely get involved.
That does make sense. Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already run cold.
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere. Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now.
Is this your way of giving praise? It was also not easy for me to fight him off. That'd be a lie. I can't pick that second option. That'd be a lie.
I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be humble around me. In fact, I'm quite relieved that you were the one he targeted.
Yeah, thanks, Kazuha.
It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured or lose their life because of me. For the poor victim, this would be a completely senseless crime.
Don't worry, we'll find him.
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaedehara. Surely this same concern for your fellow man is what drove you to fearlessly raise your blade against the almighty Shogun.
You flatter me. Truth be told, I don't know quite what came over me in that moment.
It was the power of friendship.
You are much too humble.
It was the power of friendship.
Don't worry, I completely understand your concerns. I
And
will
that
try my
cutscene
best to gather whatever leads I can.
Where Kazuha blocked
Actually,
the Raiden Shogun.
there was one strange incident over the last
was the power
few
of friendship.
days. It doesn't involve an attack, though. Let me tell you about it just in case.
Does that have to do with the sword?
Sure. During times like this, the more information we have, the better.
All right, then. Recently, 2 people went missing from the city at around the same time. One of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The other, Amenoma Yuya, is a samurai from the Amenoma clan.
Amenoma. Now there's a familiar name.
I mean, that's familiar to me too, but I don't
Right.
remember anything about it.
Yuya is the nephew of Amenoma Togo,
Oh!
the owner of Amenoma
Oh, the
Smith.
blacksmith. Okay,
2
yeah.
grown men going missing at the same time. Their cases are likely connected, but I don't know much in the way of details. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is skilled with the blade. Perhaps he is the one you are looking for.
Understood, though it seems highly unlikely to me. I neither know this man, nor do I have any idea why he may wish to attack me.
Let's consider this a favor for Yuji, or we'll investigate both instances at the same time.
Sure, can't hurt. We never know what we might find out along the way.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by making some inquiries at the Amenoma smithy.
Sounds good. All the best with your investigation. I'll get moving shortly myself.
Cut him off there. So, we're gonna get some more information from the smithy.
Ah, if it isn't Kaedehara Kazuha. What brings you here today?
Huh? You two know each other?
Yes, the Kaedehara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. Historically, there have always been deep links between the 2 clans.
Is it because they're both
After I
weaponsmiths?
returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respects. Yes,
Oh, I see.
you may recall the story of the Raiden Gokaden from the Iridori Festival.
I do
Though
actually,
all
kind of, a little bit.
bladesmiths trace their craft
did talk about the
back to
Iridori Festival a
same
little bit.
Source. Over time, each of us has arrived at a different blade-making philosophy, spawning the development of different branches of the same art. As an example, the Amenoma art strives to emulate the abiding patience and determination of water as it turns stone to sand. There is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in and day out. until both body and mind have memorized the craft.
They have sold their
Turning
souls
each
for
motion
blacksmithing.
of every technique into an intrinsic part of
bladesmith's
the
life.
bladesmith's life. As for the art of the Kaedehara clan, I believe it's called the
Ishin art. Yes, I've definitely heard that before.
That's right. Ishin art strives for complete harmony between blade and mind from the moment that forging begins. For only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings, and eventually become an extension of its wielder's will.
Indeed. Most samurai choose their blades, but an Ishin blade chooses its owner.
Wait,
You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade. It gladdens my heart to see that although the Kaedehara clan has fallen on hard times, its ideals and virtues are alive.
if an Ishin
and well.
blade chooses wielder, I don't think we'd get backstory on this unless it had to do with something related to the story. But is that cursed blade an Ishin blade? We'll find
You
out.
overestimate me.
We'll find
My
out.
actions are guided by my own
That's what
personal
I'm thinking.
sentiments, not by any noble aspirations on behalf of my clan. But let's get back on topic. The purpose of our visit today is to gather some information on your missing nephew. We hope to assist with the investigation. It may turn out that this case is connected to another we are pursuing.
Ah, yes. My nephew. I reported the case to the Tenryo Commission, but I haven't heard anything back so far. He didn't say a word before he left, which is very unlike him. I'm still completely at a loss on what to make of it, but I've done what I can so far. Worrying is futile. All I can do now is wait for the news from the Tenryo Commission.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance too. Know anything about that?
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, he gave me a very cryptic look and said that he was going to give me a great gift. I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato after that. The next thing I heard was that a fire had broken out at the warehouse.
Fire?
And neither of them came back. Yes. Strange, isn't it? I wonder what could have caused it. Unfortunately, there was very little evidence left behind, so nobody knows what really happened.
Do you have any thoughts on what Yuya may have wanted to give you?
A blade?
If I had to guess, it must have
blade.
been some
A
kind
rare
of
weapon.
rare weapon. Otherwise, there would have been no reason for him to get my hopes up. He's never been particularly interested in blade forging, but has always had a fondness for blade testing, and can sense even the most minute differences in blade quality. He is extraordinarily talented in martial arts, particularly when it comes to the art of the sword.
Truth be told, we have some information that you may find to be objectionable. The person we are looking for, he attacked this friend of mine. Based on the evidence we have gathered so far, only Yuya seems to match the suspect's profile.
What? No. Absolutely impossible. Yuya is not that kind of person.
The cursed blade.
He is humble and
That
kind.
might be what it is.
Even his training is done with the goal of calming his
Maybe
mind.
the blade possessed him or something?
He has
I don't
never
even
gotten
know.
into a fight before.
I'm making
Is
assumptions
that
here.
so?
That's all I can
Yes.
think of.
If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that Yuya would never draw his blade without a very good reason. But, with that said, it's equally out of character for him to just disappear, with neither farewell nor fair warning. I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of if coerced, or otherwise compelled by circumstances unbeknownst to me. Anyway, should you find him, please let me know as soon as possible.
Don't worry. You have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
We still have to get the info from the Nagato family.
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when the two men met each other. Let's pay a visit to the Nagato household.
Let's see where this takes us. How far is this? Oh, it's actually in the city. Okay, I thought it'd be like mad far. Just take the stairs right here. See when Yolan's the fastest travel in the game. Change my mind. Alright, here we are.
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay what we owe right now.
Huh?
My husband has gone missing, and I'm still trying to find him.
No,
Okay.
no, you misunderstand us. We are here to help with the investigation. We'd like to ask you some questions about Mr. Nagato's
Okay.
disappearance, if we may.
Ah, I see. I thought the debt collectors had come to visit again. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state. Has some new information come out? Do you know where he's gone?
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. We're still trying to find out as much as we can to inform our search. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family's current situation?
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector would be strapped for Mora.
That's a long story. Ever since I've known him, he's been an avid collector of all sorts of things. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but seeing how enthusiastic and excited they made him, I was happy to believe that they were just extremely important to him. Everything was fine when we first got married, but as time went by, things changed for the worse.
Uh-oh, what happened?
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more and more things, and even resorted to borrowing money just so he could pay for them.
So he was very
Our
materialistic.
expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. There were days when he'd spend hours down at the warehouse, admiring his weapons even as debt collectors were descending upon our house.
Were one of them
He wouldn't sell them.
the sword?
Wouldn't even touch
I don't
them.
know. I'm just saying
sat
that.
there staring
I'm just saying
at
it to
them
say
like
it.
he was in a trance. I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him. But making ends meet has to come first. I've tried talking to him about it so many times, but he never listens. On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said, if he refused to sell his collectibles and pay off his debts, I would divorce him and take the children with me.
Whoa!
And that
Whoa.
led to an argument.
What happened after that?
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man who likes to go with the flow. On most things, he leaves the decision-making to me. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if the debts hadn't pushed our family to the brink. After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. When he finally spoke, he awkwardly mumbled that he would pick out a few items to sell. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family?
It's important to set
Had I
boundaries.
not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have found ourselves in such a predicament.
Wait, so when did he go missing, though?
And I also don't know if he had actually come to his senses, or if he was simply angry with me. The next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire,
Oh,
and both he and the
so
buyer
that
had
happened
gone
right
missing.
after. That is...
I see.
Hmm.
I understand. Ame no Mayuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato. During the sale, a fire broke out at the warehouse, and both men disappeared.
At first, I assumed they must have gotten into an
Okay,
argument
hold
over the
up.
price.
I know that my Genshin is
But
getting a
my
little
husband
bit
has
laggy.
never been one to
Give me a second.
negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so it's hard to imagine him getting into a fierce argument.
Maybe he was feeling the pressure from the debts?
I don't know. He just disappeared after the warehouse burned down. Perhaps he's too afraid to come home now that all his collectibles have been lost in the fire, and he's got no way to pay off our debts. Even though I'm still a little mad at him, we're a family, and I want us to face our family's crisis together. As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know we can work things out.
Please don't get upset. There could be more to this situation than meets the eye. If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, it is quite unusual for this habit to change so drastically over a short period. But the information we gathered from the other side suggests Ame no Mayuya is also a mild-mannered man who would not be likely to start an argument. This situation is getting a little confusing.
A little confusing. More like completely mystifying.
Let's try a change of scenery
There you go.
and see if we can piece together what we've learned. Rest assured, we'll notify you if we find anything.
All right, the game should be a little bit better now.
Thank you so much. I just want him to
Or
come
actually, way
home.
better. So they're both. So out of all of that, I got that they're both people that wouldn't start arguments or
Based on
anything.
the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was somehow the catalyst for their disappearance. The fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded, though its exact role is a mystery. Do you have any thoughts?
What does Aether have to say? I'd rather hear him first than put my own down.
Well, Paimon was thinking that maybe
Somebody
someone
accidentally knocked over an oil lamp?
an oil
Really,
lamp,
Paimon? That's the best you can come up with?
Um,
That's the best you can come up with. That's the best you can come up with.
never mind.
Pa-
Paimon's
yeah,
brain
go to
needs to
sleep.
rest for a while.
Yeah, you just do that. Over to me.
you.
I got it from here. I'll do the rest. Okay, so I get three options. They must have had an argument during the sale. Perhaps a fire was deliberately used to hide the truth, or we are still missing crucial information. So it's definitely possible they could have had. No, they're both people that wouldn't start arguments. So one would have to be out of the question. Two, perhaps fire was deliberately used to hide the truth. One or the other. One of them had to do something in that. But then again, once again, they aren't people that would start arguments or anything. So I'm gonna go with we're still missing crucial information.
Right. I very much agree with you.
Yep.
It seems highly likely that we're missing a piece of the puzzle. Working off what we know so far, there are too many things that don't add up. The chances are that there are still some clues left for us to discover. One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered,
Exactly.
while
I
Mr.
literally just said that.
Nagato is introverted and passive. Neither seems like the type of person who is inclined
I
towards
just said that.
initiating
See,
conflict.
I literally said that. They aren't the type of people to start arguments, so it couldn't be one or two.
Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, is also the only one of them with the potential motive to disappear after the fire. The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just what could have happened there?
This also doesn't seem connected to the case of the attacker at all. Yeah, I didn't feel it either. I was like, wait, we're talking about two people that went missing. What does it have to do with the one attacker with the cursed sword? And then I started thinking of like maybe the first guy could have changed with the sword. The second person could have collected the sword maybe. I don't know. I literally don't know. But I know something has to do with that sword. But they haven't said anything about the sword in this entire quest. So far, I'm like 40 minutes in and they haven't said a damn thing about the sword. But I'm pretty sure the sword has some part of this. This also doesn't seem connected to the case of the attacker.
Although the time frame seems to broadly match, no other details that we've learned seem to link the two events together. Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker, namely that he is principally a practitioner of the blade testing techniques of Amenoma art, not those of the combat-oriented Ishin art.
Darn! We thought we could get two birds with one stone here, but at this rate, it's starting to look like a wild goose chase.
Let's keep going, since we've come this far.
What else do we have to
If
go
we
on?
can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs. Nagato will be able to get some closure.
Okay, but where should we go now?
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse. There's still a chance we may be able to find some shreds of evidence.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. We could just go to the warehouse that was burnt. Though, like, you know, it was burnt. There was a fire that broke out there, so there wouldn't be too much to work with. But if there is a chance that there is evidence left there, we'll have to work with that. That's all we have to go off of anyway. So let's do that.
Take it easy.
Look, one thing is just happening after another. They're all connected in a way, but they aren't at the same time. It feels like they're not connected. But watch, they're gonna
Wait.
find a way to connect it all. Wait.
I hear something ominous in the wind.
Oh! This must be another one of those sounds that only you can hear. As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use when we were chasing down that vision thief at Beto's tournament, so...
They're making a reference to the Archon quest before going to Inazuma, when Kazuha was like first released. I knew we could count on you.
Now I'm picking up a strong scent in addition to the sound. It's right around here somewhere.
What are we looking for?
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now, but I can still sense the direction it left in. It felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma.
Remnants of
the Tatarigami.
Tatarigami? I'm not even gonna, like, I know I've been saying things like I knew them, but I'm not gonna pretend like I remember this, because I literally don't. So that's the one thing I didn't expect to counter Tatarigami.
Indeed. But this unexpected
I don't
spring of
remember it.
inauspicious energy
So I'm not
may
gonna pretend I know
prove
it,
to be
'cause I
of
don't know. I don't
benefit to
remember.
our investigation. We should remain vigilant and approach slowly.
Maybe it's the guy with the sword. Who knows? What's a little cutscene type thing?
So it's an underground warehouse.
Is it domain
The
time?
force is definitely coming from down below.
Is it domain
the
time?
The source of the Tatarigami energy has long since left this place. But the residue it left behind still hasn't dissipated completely. Judging from the concentration, I would have to conclude that the Tatarigami source resided here for a very long time.
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around the warehouse by himself a lot.
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami energy at that time.
Surely someone would have noticed.
From what I've been told, Tatarigami does not turn all upon whom it preys into violent monsters, but most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatarigami's unfulfilled will. Their interests become fanatical obsessions. Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of Tatarigami could explain why he became an obsessive hoarder, amassing more and more possessions, even as he put himself in
I got the
grave
connection now.
debt.
I got the connection now. For that guy. What about the first guy?
Go down and take a look.
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look inside.
That's dangerous. Let's go together.
If we don't open this door, we can move no closer to the truth. You needn't worry. Both of us have faced far greater dangers than this. Relatively speaking, the risk here is trivial.
I guess. Okay. I guess we're just gonna watch him open it. That's it.
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see anything. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
So in the end, it was just a scare. I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing.
That was too scary. Paimon was so sure that the warehouse boogeyman.
Who the hell's the warehouse boogeyman?
All we can do now is keep searching in the direction that the Tatarigami energy's source left this place. Two ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. I fear much misfortune has already befallen them.
Let's hurry. We cannot afford to delay any longer.
Yes, let's go. If nothing else, it's vital that we find out where this Tatarigami energy is coming from. Quiet your mind and focus on what you sense around you. Perhaps you too will perceive its ominous presence in the wind.
I don't know if I'll be able to do that, but I'll try. Wait, elemental sight? Is it elemental sight? That's the first thing that comes to mind. Wait. Oh no, it's not elemental sight. It's this thing. Oh, that's not elemental sight. That's not elemental sight. That doesn't look proper. That doesn't look right. That 100% doesn't look right. Oh, I also have a waypoint telling me where to go, so I don't even need to follow this, but that doesn't look right. Somebody's not right here. You just run through it. Oh, or I could just get stuck over here, you know. Yolon's sprint is actually very good
From
for
this
traveling.
point, the trail appears to split into two.
So the two people?
The main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance.
Yes, it was both of them, yeah.
But a small portion remained here, and seems to be dissipating slowly.
Two parts. So would that correspond to Mr. Nagato and Amenoma Yuya?
Quite possibly. Let's search the area.
Okay.
Whoa! Look at all those hilly trails. They're acting really strangely.
They're under the...
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's
Excuse
take
me?
a closer look.
Just passing through. Don't mind me. Hold on. Let's send a minute. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Actually, mind me. I can't hit you for some reason. Alright. Talk to Kazuha.
It's
It's what?
Ugh! Look at this red stuff.
Can
What is it?
Can I see it?
By the looks of it, a letter written on a piece of torn clothing.
Can I see it?
The ink is bone dry. It must have been written quite some time ago. Well, let's take a look.
Can I see it? Oh, I can. I'm Nagato. I was wounded by Aminoma Yuya. Okay, so they fought each other. He took my most precious blade. I chased him but could not catch him. I lay down here to rest on account of my exhaustion. I thought that I might croak right here. My stomach kept on bleeding, but it seems that some strange power has sustained me. Why did he steal that blade? I was going to sell it to him. He even burned my warehouse down. Ugh, it hurts. It hurts. But for some reason, I can't fall unconscious. So all I can do is distract from the pain is to write. What will happen to Sachiko, Yuichi, and Yuji? I'm sorry to them. I really am. Only now do I realize how stuck in my ways I was, and how blind to my obsession. I must have been cursed. I collected all those strange and bizarre things, but they won me not one iota of happiness or warmth. Put all of it together, and it still wouldn't have been worth a single word from her mouth. Thank you, and sorry for letting you down, Sachiko. So, Aminoa got, like, possessed or something? And then stole the collector's blade. I told you he collected a blade, probably. That's what he took. The most precious blade, and that might have been what that cursed blade was.
According to this letter, a conflict arose because Aminoma Yuya wanted to seize a blade belonging to Mr. Nagato. Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight. Mr. Nagato kept chase as long as he could, eventually stopping here to write this letter when his strength gave out.
So,
Damn.
where is he?
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy influence of Tatarigami. Add to that the fact that its aura seems to have attracted a horde of monsters, and
He may be no longer with
I'm
us.
afraid he may no longer be with us. Whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point, they've since been disturbed by the hilly churls. There's nothing more for us to find here.
Let's ask the Tenyo Commission to do a thorough search later. There are more important things right now.
Yes. Right now, we need to uncover some more important truths. If Aminoma Yuya is attacking other people indiscriminately, then the longer we take to find him, the more people risk meeting the same tragic end.
Right. So let's get moving.
How did it come to this? It's not in his nature.
I wouldn't be
It's the
surprised
blade.
if he, too, fell prey to the influence of the Tatarigami. For a practitioner of the
why.
martial arts, the easiest desire to inflame would be their pursuit of further power and skill. All the clues that at first seemed disparate and disconnected, it seems that now we know the thread that runs between them. I have a hypothesis that, if it's correct, not only explains the series of events leading to the two men's disappearance, but also zeroes in on the attacker's identity.
Wait, you figured it out? So these two cases are connected after all?
I believe so. But it's something of an outlandish idea. I will only be able to confirm my suspicions once we've met him in person.
Okay.
On with the search. We must stay vigilant. At any
can still
point
be
now,
around
we may
here.
find ourselves in danger.
Because the aura was very faint, so... Or it's just kind of... keep following the sun looking for clues. Yeah, let me just, like, ride the wind with these, gracious wind circles they have given me to fly across and find the scent that is floating through the air. Because these were placed here not by the game developers, but by my unwavering
He seems to have stayed
willpower
here for a
to
long
complete this
time.
quest.
Why here? Is there anything special about this place?
I'm not sure. But on closer examination, I sense that the aura may have lingered here at several different points in time.
Show yourself. It's no use hiding anymore.
Why did he sound different? Why did he sound so... I had to pause that. Why did he sound so different when he said that? There he is.
Kazuha.
I forgot his name. I already forgot his name.
At last.
It's the guy with the blade.
Aha! So it is the same guy from before. What's your problem, huh? What could you possibly
That blade!
have against
Look at it! Look at the blade!
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. if it is Amenome Yuya that stands before us. But what if instead of facing Amenome Yuya,
The
we
blade
are
in his
fact
hand.
facing the blade in his hand?
The blade?
Now that you mention it, it is giving
Now
off
you noticed that,
strange
Paimon?
light.
I've noticed that was the first thing that I
No,
noticed.
surely you don't mean.
Yes,
Are
he's
you
possessed.
serious?
He's possessed by the blade.
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects, then works to subtly affect any living organisms in its vicinity. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind, and more recently using the sale as a means to affect, or rather as a means to occupy, Amenome Yuya's body.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already deduced the truth of the matter. Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition.
That's an Ishin blade.
I was his pride
That's an
and joy.
Ishin blade.
In me, he placed all his hopes and dreams. As a descendant of the Kaidahara clan, you should be able to guess our greatest regret.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
I can't even buy myself
Indeed.
crystals.
At that point in time, he failed
But,
to live up to the Raiden
wait,
Shogun's
pauses.
expectations.
Because we got
In
a
the
story
end,
going on here right now.
All he could do was
But
to
hey, if
flee
you're
the
pulling for
nation by
Kazuha,
sea on a ship
until he,
bound for
goes away,
Snezhnaya.
good luck. I hope you get Kazuha.
He was a bladesmith
Back to the story
of
now.
great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing that he could not accomplish. All he needed was more time and a little faith. And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work, his wisdom, his skill, it culminated in his creation of me. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength, but also endowed me with a consciousness of my own. In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also an irreplaceable achievement in the art of blade forging.
So, swords can become conscious and control people?
I guess so,
The people
Paimon.
of the time in which I was born never believed I had
And
that kind of power.
hold on, when he finishes
They
talking,
saw
I'll say
me as a
something.
mere blade, a sharp and well-crafted one, but in all other respects an ordinary weapon. But that gave me the opportunity to take action.
I like how his name. It's not even like the guy who's being possessed. It's not even like his name. It's the prized Ishin blade. That's the name of the person that's talking to us. It's just the blade talking.
After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the distant land of Inazuma. Moving from one person to the next, I controlled the minds of countless hosts along the way, each bringing me one step closer to my ancestral home. I seek but one thing: to face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power, the might of Ishin art.
Okay, so it's like it's not an evil. Okay, the blade was doing evil things. Don't get me wrong. He wounded someone. He's been taking over things and fighting people. But all the blade wants to do is just test its power against the Raiden Shogun. That's all it's been wanting to do. And now I guess we're about to figure out why it wants to, associate with Kazuha.
So Amenome Yuya was not your first victim. Tell me, what happens to those you've possessed when you've finished using them?
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? They are but tools that serve my mission. When they got tired, or injured, or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for was to take me back to Inazuma.
You're awful.
Yeah, you're a
After I
little bit
returned
terrible.
to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse until Amenome Yuya handed himself over to me on a silver platter. At long last, I'm approaching my journey's destination. By Amenome Yuya's body, I have found you, and by your hand, I shall defeat the Raiden Shogun. Kaedehara Kazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. There can be no other to serve as my host for what is to come.
I'm trying to think, like, if that is a usable sword by us, would we have to get rid of the thing possessing it first to be able to use it if it becomes playable for us, or is the sword still alive and we find a way to convert him or something? I'm just thinking that far right now while he's talking about this. So let's just see how this goes down first.
Now, give your body
Let's see
over
what
to
happens.
me.
Let's see what happens. Cutscene? Oh no, we fight him. Defeat the attacker. Oh, I get to play as Trial Kazuha.
Into the wind.
Rewrite history.
Break forth!
4,000. Give me a Yulon burst.
Game's
I need that.
Join me
It's over.
and sever that divine light.
Dodge. Oh wait, that is like the Kazuha. That's literally a baby Kazuha slash. That's a baby Kazuha slash.
Do not stand in my way, or I will
That's literally a
strike you down
Kazuha slash.
Your bluff's fooling no one. You've lost.
Lost. I can never lose. It is this body that has reached its
No.
limit, nothing
Wait.
more.
Hold up, wait. No.
Even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will not be me, but this man. He is but a puppet that can be replaced. I can take a new vessel at will.
Then we'll smash you to
The
pieces.
end result is the same. I will end this wretch's life before you can lift a finger. And even if I were to lose my physical form, it is but a small setback. My consciousness shall endure.
What are his
By
limits
any
to
means necessary,
possessing
and
someone?
any medium available, I shall return and fulfill my destiny.
That'd be a problem if he took over Kazuha, now wouldn't it?
Your fighting style. It is indeed the forms of Ishin art, but from your movements, I sense only hatred and arrogance, as well as a thinly veiled mania and despair.
Really? You can tell all that just from his moves?
As I've mentioned before, the forms of Ishin art convey the user's thoughts and feelings. Since the blade is currently possessing Aminome Yuya's body, its movements express the innermost thoughts of the blade. If you ask me, the mania is probably due to your desperate, single-minded ambition. You believe I am your only hope.
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless without you?
Maybe.
On his deathbed, he passed to me all of Ishin Art's secrets. The little that you know barely scratches the surface. In that regard, why would I ever need your help?
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. If you are indeed a cursed blade that can possess its owner, now that I've seen inside your mind, everything finally makes sense. You weren't biding your time. You were trapped. After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak. To the point that you are now unable to acquire a new host without making physical contact.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Paimon remembers now. Mr. Nagato had a habit of never touching
Oh,
his
so he was never possessed because he never
Only
touched the
when
sword.
Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his collectibles, did you finally have an opportunity to reach out to Aminome Yuya and make your escape.
And what of it?
Well, that brings me to my second point. There's a despair in you that is so strong it threatens to overwhelm you. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But this ambition is too grand and too heavy for you to bear. Each step you have taken has come at a great cost. I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth and pressed forward, the greater your fear of losing everything you had achieved grew, and the more you wished to run from the truth. But the way I see it, what began as an ambition has long since become a delusional fantasy.
What would you know about any of this? I'm just one step away from achieving my goal.
I don't like that.
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. But to make this arduous journey, you committed countless atrocities and showed a blatant disregard for human life, even if you were to sever that divine light. Is this truly the outcome that your maker would have desired?
You...
Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. But even as you made your journey to honor this legacy, you treated the ones who wielded you as mere tools to do your bidding.
That is true.
How could you possibly unleash the full potential of Ishin art when you act in perfect discordance with the principle of harmony? between a blade and its bearer.
Silence, you blabbering fool! I
can't accept
must
it.
achieve my goal. This was his life's dream, and the very purpose for which I was brought into being. I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see my predicament clearly. But you also underestimate my resolve.
And you should face reality.
Easy for you to say. Facing reality offers me nothing. I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitation, not self-reflection, and certainly not your so-called reality.
How is this gonna go down?
It is pointless to argue further, descendant of the Kaedahara clan. If you wish to save this man, then offer
Here's the
me
choices.
your body.
I don't think
in
I get to do anything though. I just get to stand here and watch this
How
happen.
stubbornly you stick to your wayward path. I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty Shogun in your current state. So let us make a bet, and I will put your strength to the test.
What? Surely you're not planning to agree to his demands.
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies with whom you wish to cross blades. A taste of my power will more than convince you. Once we have dealt with them, we shall proceed to Tenshukaku.
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose, you must release Amenoma Yuya from your control.
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is a risky strategy. You're dealing with a cursed blade that can possess people.
This is the only way to save Amenoma Yuya. If we don't do this, he'll forever be the blade's puppet. The cursed blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense he's hesitating. This suggests his heart is still not completely devoid of honor. The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions. This is the reason Mr. Nagato and Amenoma Yuya fell prey to it. Since I don't have any similar kinds of obsessions, I should be able to put up some resistance for a while.
But even so...
Even if things take a turn for the worse, I still have you both here with me.
He trusts us. He
We have
trusts
a
us a
chance
lot.
here to save an innocent victim. I am willing to accept the risks entailed.
Alright, fine. It's not like I can stop
Your
you.
disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed to this bet because there are things I wish to learn too. Now, take me in your hand.
Oh man!
Kazuha?
I'm okay. I felt a little dizzy at first, but only for a moment. It's all right. So far, this was as I expected.
If something feels off, let me know immediately.
I will. Thank you.
What should we do next? Have you got a plan, Kazuha?
We find some enemies. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't experienced many real fights. If a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony between blade and bearer, it cannot unleash its true power. If he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight until he has no choice but to face it. He shouldn't last long in an intense combat situation.
Wait a minute. Paimon remembers hearing about something from the Adventurers Guild. Since the Takasukasa clan abandoned that secret base, it's been held by Ronin ever
So we're gonna go
since.
into a domain of Ronin and test the sword out. That should fit the bill. Yeah.
All right. Please lead the way.
What about Amanoma Yuya? What should we do with him?
The blade says he'll let Amenoma Yuya trail us silently. Although he hasn't regained his own consciousness yet, he is not in any immediate danger.
Are we sure this is a good idea? It's a pretty treacherous journey. Okay,
But that's the
fine.
journey.
Just be careful.
I want to see how this plays out. I'm like actually getting excited over this. That whole part when I was like being a little like mad quiet or whatever, I was like getting a little bit excited. Oh, what is this called? Ere at the end, a glance back. Where is that? I'll figure it out, whatever. So now Kazuha is using the blade, and we're about to see what he does with it. If all goes well, he should be. The blade should get worn out or something, as he was saying. He can't take a lot of combat intense situations. just remember like parts of it. Here we go. Head to the blade testing venue. Oh, I'm using Kazuha, so I can just do this. Fly all the way up. Are they gonna give me a trial Kazuha with the blade? Because it's an actual weapon? Oh, yeah, okay, it's a domain. I was right. I said we're going to a domain to beat up Ronin. Let's do it. Occupied hold. This was once a secret holding of the Tenkatsu Kasa clan, which was taken over by Ronin after being abandoned. If you should meet any resistance on the way in, well, might as well check how much strength remains in the mystical sword. Here we go. Recommended elements, Animo. So I'm assuming they're going to replace my Kazuha with the trial Kazuha and give him that blade. And if they do give him that blade, I'm going to, like, check the, description, obviously. The stats on the sword. I know it has attack, and I know its effect gives even more attack or something, I think. I did look over it in, like, the notices. Yep, okay, it's just Kazuha. It's just Kazuha. The blade. Prized Ishin blade. Base attack, 510, 41. When normal charge or plunge attack hits an opponent, it will release an accursed spirit, dealing AoE damage equal to 180% of attack and restoring 100. Oh, it heals you! Okay, this fight can be triggered once every 8 seconds. The damage done by the weapon's wielder is decreased. What? The damage done by this weapon's wielder is decreased by 50%. So is this like a nerfed version of the blade? This is a nerfed version of the blade.
This journey to me.
Where did I get fire from? Where did I get fire from? Did I swirl it from like the things in the back? They left fire in the back for me to swirl, I guess. That's where I'm getting fire from. But like, it's still doing pretty good damage. Shit. So what now?
How are you feeling? You okay?
I'm all right. The blade is performing largely as I expected. Having gone so long without proper use and maintenance, it's become very difficult to use. Though he's making every effort to persevere, I do not think he can last much longer.
Something else on your mind?
How strange. Rather than trying to control me, he is instead trying to match my fighting rhythm.
He's trying to learn.
Let's keep going.
See, I told you, he's just trying to learn. He did say, actually. He did say, like, he has things he wants to learn as well. Oh, exquisite chest. I'm taking that. I bet I wasn't going to walk past that. He's trying to learn. Will the sword get stronger over time, then? The damage done by this weapon's wielder is decreased by 50%. It still has that debuff on it. Because this isn't the complete blade. Or, like, this is as it is right now. I didn't get fired this time. I wasn't close enough. It's all good. Okay, this fire right next to me.
Into the wind.
Wait, do I have any constellations? Okay, I have 3 constellations. So I can do that, like, combo. Wait, do I have, like, that broken constellation? Yes, I do. The one with 200 elemental mastery.
Time to get.
Okay, so I can do
One with nature.
pull them all together,
One with wind and
Q, and then E again.
The wind knows.
Because his Constellation 1, what it does is that when you use your burst, it resets your skill's cooldown. And also, your E has a shorter cooldown, so you're able to use it way more often.
Something's up with the blade.
It's going dimmer. Actually, wait, yeah, it's losing its aura.
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. The blade is becoming more and more difficult for me to wield. He cannot hold out much longer. If he keeps persisting, he will likely break apart at any moment.
And if it breaks apart, then what
What would
happens?
that do to Amano Miyuya?
Yeah, that's what I just
I will be
asked.
careful with it.
Kind of.
He also says he does not have any plans to give up easily.
Okay.
He's still trying to achieve his goal.
He's got resolve. We don't underestimate his resolve, but you know, the blade's getting is it getting weaker over time? I'm going back out and checking if this debuff's still here, and it's still here. I'm dealing 50% decreased damage, and like I don't think that's not obviously not for the actual blade. No one would use this weapon if it had a 50% debuff. Ambush. Oh no, I'm getting ambushed. Are you sure that was an ambush? He's appeared right in front of me. I don't think that's an ambush. Paimon, I think we had to go over what an ambush means again.
One with nature.
Fire. I'm actually happy they put like these fires over here for me to swirl, because like I would have had no element to work with if it wasn't there.
Adorn my nights.
And then I pull him in. There you go. See, when Kazuha was kind of fun. It's like you E, come back down, Q, and then E back again.
Looks like you were really struggling
Yes. And it looks like he's reached his limit.
The sheen's grown a bit dimmer again. It doesn't look anywhere near as impressive as it did at the start.
Perhaps this time we'll finally have a chance to see his true form.
True
Okay.
form?
What?
What are you talking about? Huh? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of junk.
The wear and tear is severe. It looks like it's about to break.
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai and Kairagi, much less the almighty Shogun. Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. But the long journey from Snezhnaya back to Inazuma has left you battered and broken. It barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight of fancy.
Will he listen to you? Though the truth is right there in front of
I
him.
finally figured out why it was that you agreed to my bet. You wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. For perhaps then you would still be able to wield commendable power. But regrettably, we are nothing alike. I will never understand your obstinacy and cruelty, nor can I empathize with the one who made you. The only one who truly understood you had already passed away by the time you were born.
Oh, man.
What's that supposed to mean?
Here they are! Take
what
them
the-
down!
Huh? Oh.
Where do they keep coming from?
You shouldn't fight with this blade anymore.
Yep, we can help this time.
Yup!
Don't worry.
Oh.
I'll use my own blade. It's just more of the same.
Oh. Did he bring out his sword now? Philip. I'll use my blade. Pulls out a 3-star fillet blade. Okay, fine.
Into the wind.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that you carry a fillet blade with you, Kazuha. I would have never known that. Like actually, I would have never known that you carry a fillet blade with you. You are very unpredictable. Ow. I didn't mean to get that. So that, watch burst, and then do this again. There we go. I see he's gone. I still, I can't.
You fought way better with your own sword.
Yeah, the fillet blade, yeah.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. Though we fought briefly together, you have seen me for who I really am. No one knew anything of my story throughout my travels, nor did I tell it to anyone. You are the first person to know the truth. I thought that if I could achieve Ishin harmony with you, perhaps there would still be a ray of hope for me.
But in this too, you have failed.
Indeed. No matter how hard I tried, I could not attain that perfect harmony that your personal blade does with you. Too much time.
Yeah,
has
the fillet
passed.
blade's way stronger than you are. I'm
My
sorry to
physical
say.
state is poor, and without proper maintenance, I can only disguise my true appearance behind an
I'm just
outer sheen.
I'm just thinking from like his perspective because he's a sword, right? And he got like mad broken and shit. He's like, damn, the 3-star fillet blade did more damage than me. Damn, I suck. I need a buff.
Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi.
Yeah, the fillet blade, dude.
And what a magnificent
fillet blade.
it is.
It's all about the fillet blade.
Perhaps.
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I picked up during my travels in Liyue.
What?
Yeah, the fillet blade.
Forging and maintenance
gotta tell it to
are
him
both
somehow.
important for a blade, but they are not everything. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years, and we have formed a close bond during that time. Plus, in the moment that I most needed it, I received aid from another power.
The electrovision from your friend?
Skill, blade, determination, and desire. All these must be aligned in the practice of Ishin art. There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not have been aware, your ability to possess your own consciousness derived from the power of the Tatarigami. Tatarigami is a malevolence from the ancient past. It is the source of your mania and savagery. Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you, the part of you driven by Tatarigami was constantly trying to seize control of my body.
I sensed it, but I couldn't change it. It is an integral part of my consciousness.
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save Amenoma Yuya. But I do not know whether you yourself have any intention of trying to fight it. I feel a great sense of regret for you. Since you embarked on a journey bound for a destination you were destined never to reach. The moment you embarked on this journey, you lost the only person who could have ever unleashed your true potential. And yet there was no way for you to turn your back on his ambition. You have known this for a long time. It is the true source of your despair.
He gave me everything. My life, my form, my consciousness, and purpose. How could I possibly deny him his wish? I said to him, "Do not worry. From here on, I shall forge your legacy." How could I go back on my word?
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled. I have nothing further to say.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
Where is he going, actually?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm. Let's give him some time to reflect on things.
I was just like, damn, I already won. Yeah, let's just walk out of here. Talk to Kazuha. You just gonna stand here? Can I talk to him? He's just breathing. I can't tell if he's just breathing or crying. He could be crying, I don't know.
When I touched the hilt for the first time, it's as if I was transported to a strange dimension. It was somewhere I've never been. A bladesmith lay quietly on the bed, his frail face barely visible under the moonlight. His breaths were weak, and his life near its end. A newly forged blade lay by his side, listening attentively to his final words.
Wow. That was the Blade's memory, wasn't it?
Indeed. While in exile in Snezhnaya, the bladesmith eventually learned the truth behind everything that had happened. The Ishin art had been dealt a devastating blow by the desertion of its best smiths. He spent the rest of his life in the forge, not to vent his frustration and hatred, but to atone for his actions. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, but he could never again return to his homeland. His sole wish was to one day return his single, proudest creation back to the land of his birth. So he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Inazuma, no matter how long or how hard the journey. But he never wished to rival the gods. All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly as blade and smith, that they were still worthy of being trusted.
So that's the true story. But after that, the blacksmith's intentions were worked by the Tatarigami, slowly turning his proud creation into the cursed blade of today.
Oh, okay.
I believe the bladesmith might never have known that the power he worked with was that of the Tatarigami. The hatred within that power is what sent the blade down its ill-fated path. This blade has committed unforgivable atrocities, but only because it lost its original master. No one was there to correct its errors when it was losing its way.
Shame it's too late now.
Yes, it is too late. Time would not wait or stop because of his determination. While the world moved on, his ambition remained stubbornly stuck at that fleeting moment at the dawn of his journey. He seems to have calmed down, though. Let's go and check in.
Okay. So he was kind of like, he used to be a good blade, but then he became corroded. And then, well, yeah, this is how he turned out.
When I look back at the past, I can remember the day of my forging like it was just yesterday. I once told him that I would pay any price to fulfill his wishes. Such was the debt I owed to him for giving me the gift of consciousness. But darkness and slaughter numbed the mind. Over time, I lost sight of the difference between gratitude and grudge. Not only did I fail to fulfill his ambition, I also defiled it.
You are finally seeing reality clearly.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, I will honor the agreement and release Amenoma Yuya. But I still cannot bring myself to forsake his ambition. It is the entire purpose for my existence. So, May I ask you to help me fulfill the ambitions of myself and my creator?
Is this where we get the sword?
Now you're adding yours into the mix too? Jeez, don't push your luck, mister.
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. And if you don't agree, I will still release Ame no Mayuya as promised. My physical form, as well as the knowledge I possess, should still be of some value to you.
His attitude has grown a lot milder. What do you think, Kazuha? Should we give him a chance?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, my maker was already terminally ill. He told me that he had wanted me to have the grandest opening battle.
The grandest opening battle? You wanted to be in an anime opening?
Alas, after that, he never rose from his sickbed again.
Damn.
Nor have I
He
ever
never had his
the
opening.
chance to prove myself in battle sen. My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. They were merely the next step in my never-ending journey. The next in a long line of transgressions. You are a fine warrior. I would like to request your hand in battle and experience a true duel between samurai.
Oh? And who would be the opponent?
I will release Ame no Mayuya and restore his consciousness. Perhaps after that, you can convince him to commit to a fight with you. He must have plenty of reasons to both hate me and desire a good fight.
Understood. Then let's start by waking him up and seeing if he has the stamina.
I like how we're
and
still
will
in
to
like
fight.
this domain. Amenoa Yuya finally regains consciousness and
I
God,
see.
can't even read it. Fine.
He used my body to inflict harm on others. I utterly despise him and his actions. But since he stayed true to your agreement by releasing me, he must still have some remaining semblance of honor. If a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I am willing to put myself forward. I do not wish to be a mere victim in this story.
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence to the Tenryo Commission.
Thanks for your help. Who knows how this would have ended without your intervention?
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. We
Yeah.
can't stay
Yeah,
here.
well, yeah, we've been
In any
just sitting in the
case,
domain
a
for like
final
ever.
duel, I think we should aim for a greater sense of ceremony.
Oh yeah? Are we leaving the domain first? Can we get out of the domain? Yeah, look at that chest right there. I wanted that chest. It's been just sitting here, you know, waiting to be claimed. And now we get to finally see how do we obtain the blade. Whether it gives it to us after the story, or if there's an event coming up soon, or something. I don't know. I don't know. But I know that we get the blade, mainly because it was shown to us that we get the blade. And everybody knows that, you know, we get the blade. It's there. But, like, I'm more intrigued on how we get the blade, rather than what the blade does or whatever. I mean, I'll still check out what it does after. But, you know. This blade has a story, you know? A lot of the blades that we have in Genshin, or the weapons, have some story behind them, some of them. But we don't actually get to see the story behind them. The only other weapon that we've seen had a story behind it was the Festering Desire, which was like in Dragon Spine. What was it? This weapon right here. Like in Albedo's quest, or whatever. It didn't corrupt the Traveler, but it was like could corrupt anybody else who touched it. So Traveler was special. That's why it was given to us. So, you know, we're getting another weapon that actually has some lore behind it that we're getting.
Crash.
This was a much more relaxed occasion.
Yep, we still can't let our guard down. Even now, Paimon has a sneaking suspicion that blade hasn't told us everything.
You're still suspicious, Paimon?
Still, even if he's way past the point of redemption, it's hard not to feel a teensy bit sorry for him. Are you ready?
Here we go.
Ready? Okay. All right then. Successor of Ishin art, Kaedahara Kazuha.
Successor of Amenoma art, Amenome Yuya.
Honored to cross blades with you.
It is my honor also.
Here we go. Oh, we get to play the duel. Here we go. Oh, this will be great.
Into the wind.
I'm a Noma art successor. Dodge. Ooh, you have a different type of slash.
The wind knows me.
You're straight through with the sword. Pause. The damage done by this weapon's wield is decreased by 50%. Oh, it still has the... has 0% attack on it. I just noticed. What the frick? Has 0% attack on it. Has 0% attack on it. This blade is long gone. Alright, whatever.
Time to go.
We should still do damage to him somehow. No, I'm like literally doing no type of damage. Dodge. Fly over to you. Flinch. Watch this. Wait. This is gonna take a while. This duel is actually gonna take a while.
One with nature.
Pull that. Go into the water.
As one with
Burst.
wind and cloud.
Pull you closer to the water. Dodge. Auto. Okay.
Into the wind.
Dodge. He's got a better sword than me. Holy shit. Like, he hasn't hit me. I mean, he has. Like, once. He has a better sword than me. He, like, 100% has a better sword than me. Because this blade gives me no type of attack at all. The problem is that he can't hit me with it. Because I'm dodging literally everything he's doing.
Thank you for the experience. Although he appears battered and broken. In your hands, it seems he's regained a glimmer of brilliance. His sense of savage cruelty has completely faded away. But that same sense of determination remains strong.
You also fought well. I'm sure he relished the experience. There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell you himself.
I must apologize to you for all that has transpired.
You need not seek my forgiveness. Nor do I have the right to forgive you on your victim's behalf. It is too late for all of that.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my transgressions as mine alone, and not let them stain the legacy of Ishin art. I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but the Ishin art still has a worthy successor in Kaedehara Kazuha. I beseech you, please understand.
Oh, he's talking to Kazuha.
Yes. I too trust Mr. Kaedehara to do the right thing.
I didn't even know. I was like, wait, how's he talking? But then I saw like Kazuha's mouth moving.
Art.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. He would like to visit the Amenoma smithy. Maybe we can go back there together.
What does he want to go there for?
I'm not sure, but I think that all this is about to come to an end.
We fix him up? Fix him up at the smithy? We fix him up at the smithy? That's what I've been waiting for? Something? Like, see, it's different. With the Festering Desire, right? It's a blade that had lore. And, like, a weapon having lore at first doesn't seem that interesting. It's whatever, right? But this blade talks. Okay? A blade that talks. Let's take it at that.
It's Yuya.
It's
You have
not
returned.
It's not completely like, you know, oh, the blade is talking. Oh my god. It's just like a blade that we are getting talks. It's
sorry
just
to have troubled you.
the story for that
It's all thanks
is
to
kind of
them that I
nice.
was able to
That's what
return
I'm looking
safely.
that's what I was looking forward to. I'll say more when this all ends, but let's see what's up. You tell An about the various things that happen.
Prized Ishin blade, turned weapon that controls the human mind. Considering their forging philosophy, this was indeed within the realm of possibility. This is a great pity, but I have some good news as well. Ryuji from the Bonton Sango Detective Agency
Found Mr. Nagato?
tells me that they've found the missing Mr. Nagato.
But is he
Really?
okay?
Is he okay?
Yes.
Badly wounded. Okay, so he didn't
but
die
he
then.
will live.
Okay, he didn't
and
die.
now that Yuya is back, it seems like the final ending to this story
Yep.
is a happy one after all.
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade whispering in your ear again?
Yes. He said he wants to take control of me for a brief moment.
What? No way! Hasn't it learned its lesson?
Paimon, read the room.
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. And he assures me that he won't use my body for anything nefarious. I have decided to let him do it.
Hey, the decision is yours.
There's nothing we can say to change your mind.
I trust your judgment.
Thank you. I will explain my reasons later. Okay. I am ready. Let us begin. Please, stay true to your promise.
Do we get a cutscene? Why is my game not responding? Is it a cutscene? It is a cutscene! Okay.
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything? You mean...
Yes. The cost is my entire consciousness.
Is he breaking the blade or is he fixing it?
You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies.
Oh!
Ishin lives
Oh!
his hour is yet to
He
come.
possessed him to like
Even if I am not the one to prove it
to
myself,
re-smith the blade,
as long as
or
it
fix
is
the blade.
Ishin blade.
Crafted by Kaidahara's hands.
Kaidahara hands. It will still fulfill his final wish.
There you go. That's the thing we saw in the reveal stream.
Kaidahara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin. This name is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
He left. So we don't get the cursed blade. We get what the cursed blade like made itself into, but it's gone now. The final word.
So,
Final words. I couldn't
thought
read
you said
that.
it had to be
The final
done
words of the
before
blade.
His consciousness will
Will disappear
disappear
forever.
forever after fulfilling the bladesmith's wish.
And there you go. Now it's gone.
Kagotsurube Ishin. It was the first time I ever heard his name. It seems like deep down he disapproved of his own actions, and thus chose to bury this name deep within his heart. Only in the final moments, before his consciousness faded, was he willing to entrust it to another.
Seems like he really, really wanted
So-
to fulfill his
So
maker's
his
wish.
consciousness in the sword is gone. So I'm assuming the sword we get is that new one.
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to keep going forward also fueled the stubborn determination that blinded him to the path ahead. Speaking for myself, I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his mistakes than see him punished for them.
Too dangerous if you ask me. The remnants of defeated gods are nothing to scoff at.
I understand. Perhaps this is a flaw in my personality. I've always been captivated by grand aspirations. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched something inside of me. Just as the sight of those who fought to repeal the Vision Hunt decree did. Your quest to face the gods and trace your sibling inspires
Yeah,
me in the
right.
same way.
I forgot that was my main goal.
After everything I've seen, perhaps these pursuits fascinate me a little more than they should.
Oh, Kazuha.
I will continue to support you from this point on. Know that you will have my assistance whenever you need it.
I'll hold you to your word.
Wait, shouldn't we also go update Kujo Kamaji?
Oh, you're right. We need to tell him about the findings of our investigation. And it's also time to give him a response to the offer
Oh
he
yeah,
made.
that offer. I forgot. What was the offer again? That was literally in the beginning of the quest. That was in the beginning of the quest. How am I supposed to remember that? How am I supposed to remember that? Let me think. Come on, I need brain power. Oh yeah, right. He was like
Take it
receiving
easy.
the Shogun's support, right? That was it. He was receiving the Shogun's support, and stuff because of what happened to his clan or whatnot, and how they weren't at fault for what happened. Something along the lines. Yes, storytelling with Brando. Yeah, that is what I remember. I could be completely
Take it
wrong,
easy.
but that's what I remember. All right, let's see how this plays out.
You've returned. I hear that the issue has been resolved. Though this was a treacherous investigation indeed, we're most fortunate that no lives were lost. The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse. The investigation into Amanoma Yuya should conclude soon. I do not believe he will be charged with any crime.
Wow, you sure kept your ear to the ground.
Then we
Damn.
needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer.
What's he gonna do now?
Please take a look at this blade.
What's this?
That sword looks so cool. That sword looks so cool, actually. Now that I look at it.
Kagotsurube Ishin, a weapon crafted using a long-lost blade forging art of the Kaidahara clan. By means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. I also promised him that I will continue to study and pass on the secrets of Ishin art. And so, it looks like I will likely continue with my journey across the nations, learning more about this blade as I go.
I see. I understand.
The Kaidahara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths, so it is only proper for me to continue on this path.
So, would I be assuming right if I said that Kazuha would be coming with us on our journey? I mean, like, he didn't. He said that he'll help us whenever we need it. But, like, he's talking as if he's about to leave with us on a journey.
Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the shogunate and Sangonomiya. That would not suit me.
You misunderstand. That was most certainly not our intent.
I am aware, but I still desire to continue walking my own path.
So he declines.
Very well, I can understand. Then let's pretend this offer was never raised. However, if you should ever change your mind or find yourself in need of the Shogunate's assistance, please do not hesitate to inform me.
Great. Thank you for your generosity.
Where will you travel to next, Kazuha?
Subaru?
I'll
No.
probably take to the seas with
Okay, so
Captain
he's going
Beto
with Captain
again for
Beto.
now. As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.
Okay. Fair enough. For us, it's going to be taking us to Inazuma next patch. There you go. A strange and friendless world quest completed to be continued. And just like that, we're done. We got the blade! Kagotsurubi Ishin, a famed blade that was born in... Hold up. I need to see this. Where to look at it on Kazuha. Okay. Here it is, level 1. Do we get... Is there like a thingy... No, okay. There's no buff to leveling it up or anything. So, like, sometimes when you get a weapon event, during a certain amount of time when you level up a weapon, you'd get like 1.5 times the experience. So that's what I thought would happen, but that's not the case. Also, it lost its debuff effect, and it's a different effect now. It's not the same. Ishin Art Clarity. When normal and charge or plunging attack hits an opponent, it will whip up a hewing gale, dealing AoE damage equal to 180% of the of attack and increasing attack by 15% for 8 seconds. This effect can be triggered once every 8 seconds. So this was a good attack weapon. And that's what it's looking like. But it's amazing that we actually got that sword weapon or the weapon, because normally under like any other occasion we probably wouldn't get it. But they announced this early, that's why we knew it. Even when the stream was out, I didn't know whether we were gonna get the weapon or not. Gareth kept saying that we were gonna get the weapon, and like but I was like, nah, they didn't say anything about it, so we weren't gonna get it. And then when the patch came out, they were like, oh yeah, so you're getting this blade. They didn't say how you're getting it, but you're getting it. And so yeah, when you complete Kazuha's story quest, you get this weapon. It looks like a very good attack weapon for like an sword main TPS. I don't know for who though. I was thinking like because it has to do with Kazuha's story, it'd be like the best weapon on him. But majority of people who play Kazuha build like elemental mastery and stuff on it, on him. So I don't know. I'm gonna probably still continue using the Iron Sting for now because I don't have his 5-star weapon. I play the Iron Sting on him, the elemental mastery sword that you can forge from the blacksmith. But I think that's where I'm gonna wrap this up because that was a pretty good quest line. I enjoyed it. I actually did enjoy that. I was like getting into it as like the blade started talking. So yeah, majority of the time when I was quiet, I was listening to what was being said. So that's why I didn't comment that much when it was happening. But those are my final thoughts. The sword looks pretty cool. And anyone who decides to use it, I don't know who would be the best at slot for, but it looks like it's a decent weapon. So go ahead and use it if you wanna. And you do Kazuha's story quest that came out yesterday, and you get yourself the Ishin. Yeah, that. So thank you guys for tuning into the stream today. I hope you guys did enjoy as much as I did. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment down below. And if you want to see me react to more story quests or do some funny moment stuff, that's what I do on the channel. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And with that, I'll see you goddamn gamers next time. Peace.